Our next story is from the world of sport, and at the centre of it is one of its biggest stars. There is a Football World Cup coming up in just over a month, but one of sport's biggest stars finds himself battling not defenders on the pitch, but lawyers in a Spanish courtroom. We are talking about Neymar Jr., the talismanic striker for five-time world champions Brazil, who plays his club football in France with Paris Saint-Germain alongside Lionel Messi. Let me tell you what's happening. Neymar could face a minimum 2-year jail term if Spanish prosecutors have their way. This all dates back to his headline-grabbing transfer to Spanish giants Barcelona from Brazilian side Santos in 2013. Now, football transfers are usually cloak and dagger stuff, but the Neymar deal has also turned out to be murky. Let me tell you about the parties central to this case. Of course, there is Neymar himself and the two clubs. But Neymar's parents are also key players in this web of intrigue, with Brazilian investment firm DIS claiming to be the aggrieved party in this case. Remember, Neymar's talent was spotted at an early age, and he was spotted by Santos, who offered him a contract in 2003 when he was 11. Santos are one of Brazil's most famous and successful teams, and they're also the team that football legend Pelé played for between the years 1956 and 1974. Neymar signed his first professional contract with Santos at the age of 17. But his talent was no secret across football. Investment firm DIS attempted to cash in by purchasing a 40% stake in the player's future, the future transfer value, and they paid €2 million for those rights. Neymar finally moved to Barcelona in 2013 for a fee in the region of $57 million. Santos received a fee in the region of $17 million, while Neymar's parents received $40 million. DIS received a total of $6.8 million from Santos as their share. And a year later, it emerged that Barcelona had already struck a deal with Neymar's parents back in 2011. €10 million were paid as a down payment, and another $30 million when the transfer was eventually completed. Barcelona eventually got Santos to agree to a €17 million fee in 2013. The story blew up in early 2014, and then Barcelona president Sandro Rosell was forced to resign. A Spanish court accused Barcelona of financial engineering by inking 9 separate agreements to avoid paying tax. But the true cost of the deal was finally pegged at close to €86 million, with Santos receiving around $25 million, while the Neymar family received some $60 million. Now, DIS allege that they were cheated out of their legitimate share, with Barcelona and Santos agreeing to a private agreement that saw the Spanish side play a friendly with Santos that netted the Brazilians €4.5 million. A separate agreement was struck for a payment of $7.9 million for a right of first refusal on 3 players. Now, this was never exercised. DIS also claimed that this deal was agreed upon to avoid a €65 million penalty clause in their original deal. Listen in.
Neymar's rights were not sold to the highest bidder. They were clubs that offered up to €60 million. The vision of our clients, what our clients and the prosecution accuse, is that the player received a bribe of €40 million tax-free. 10 of those 40 million were under a simulated loan contract and another 30 million under the formula of a future transfer of a player to Barcelona from the date that the player has the status of free agent. That is what the contract said.
DIS and the Professional Athletes Association of Brazil are demanding payback now. They have called for a 5-year prison term, a €149 million fine, and they also want the player to be disqualified as a player over the course of that sentence. Neymar's lawyers argue that both the player and his parents are Brazilian citizens and cannot be prosecuted by a Spanish court. Meanwhile, Barcelona settled the matter in court in late 2016 with Spanish prosecutors, but the DIS lawsuit rumbled on, and it's going to finally begin on Monday, with Neymar being ordered to be present in court. Now, Barcelona aren't out of the woods just yet. Former club president Rosell is facing a 5-year prison term for crimes of corruption and fraud related to this controversial transfer. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.